Once again, we are going to talk about Herman Melville, a 19th century famous writer of the American Renaissance period, from Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. Herman Melville, born Melville, August 1, 1819, and died September 28, 1891, was an American novelist, short story writer, and poet of the American Renaissance period. Among his best-known works are Moby-Dick, published in 1851, Typee, published in 1846, a romanticized account of his experiences in Polynesia, and Believed Sailor, a posthumously published novella. Although his reputation was not high at the time of his death, the 1919 centennial of his birth was the starting point of a Melville revival, and Moby-Dick grew to be considered one of the great American novels. Melville was born in New York City, the third child of a prosperous merchant whose death in 1832 left the family in dire financial straits. He took to sea in 1839 as a common sailor on a merchant ship and then on the whaler Acushnet, but he jumped ship in the Marquesas Island. Typee, his first book, and its sequel, Omu, published in 1847, were travel adventures based on his encounters with the peoples of the islands. Their success gave him the financial security to marry Elizabeth Shaw, the daughter of the Boston jurist Lemuel Shaw. Murdy, published in 1849, a romance adventure and his first book not based on his own experience, was not well received. Redburn, published in 1849, and White Jacket, published in 1850, both tales based on his experience as a well-born young man at sea, were given respectable reviews but did not sell well enough to support his expanding family. Melville's growing literary ambition showed in Moby-Dick, published in 1851, which took nearly a year and a half to write, but it did not find an audience. And critics scorned his psychological novel Pierre, or The Ambiguities, published in 1852. From 1853 to 1856, Melville published short fiction in magazines including Benito Cereno and Bartleby the Scrivener. In 1857, he traveled to England, toured the Near East, and published his last work of prose, The Confidence Man, published in 1857. He moved to New York in 1863, eventually taking a position as a United States Customs inspector. From that point, Melville focused his creative powers on poetry, battle pieces, and aspects of the hour. Published in 1866, was his poetic reflection on the moral questions of the American Civil War. In 1867, his eldest son Malcolm died at home from a self-inflicted gunshot. Melville's metaphysical epic, Clarel, a poem and pilgrimage in the Holy Land, was published in 1876. In 1886, his other son Stan Weeks died of apparent tuberculosis, and Melville retired. During his last years, he privately published 2 volumes of poetry and left 1 volume unpublished. The novella Believed was left unfinished at his death, but was published posthumously in 1924. Melville died from cardiovascular disease in 1891. I repeat, Melville died from cardiovascular disease in 1891. And that's all in brief about one of the greatest 19th century writer called Melville, Herman Melville of the American Renaissance period. And if you like this video, please do share your comments, and thank you very much. And I'd like to once again invite you to watch other videos of this channel. Thank you. Bye bye.